Every Yu-Gi-Oh player wants to feel like that they are in complete control of the game. It doesn't matter if you're a casual player, a floodgate player, a combo player, or even a high-level competitive player. Every Yu-Gi-Oh player wants to feel like that they are in control of the result when they go and play Yu-Gi-Oh. And then you have something like Snake Eyes. And because Snake Eyes doesn't do anything overtly out there in terms of, oh man, it is clearly unfair and broken, blah, blah, blah. Like, nobody says Snake Eyes is an unfair, broken deck. They just say it happens to be really good, and nobody wants to go play anything else outside of Snake Eye. Like, what is there to go ban or limit in Snake Eyes that's not going to make it not good? But at the same time, though, despite everyone knowing it's a good deck, nobody can talk about how it's like overtly wrong or bad or unfair. Like, Snake Eyes to me is the perfect deck. It really is. It's the perfect deck that's really gosh darn good, but doesn't do anything wrong. And because it doesn't do anything wrong, it doesn't create any talking points. And because it doesn't create any talking points, it leads to the Yu-Gi-Oh community, which, let's all admit right now, is full of hyperbolic people who are very impatient. We love complaining about stuff.
And it just, I don't know. There's so many cards in here that are just so annoying. Rescue Cat. What is Rescue Cat doing in here exactly?
Playing Speedroid. Don't call my cards random.
It's you fucking liberal. Right. Have you ever read Magical Meltdown? You've literally never read this card. No, I swear to God.
No,
you literally have never read
I forgot.
You fucking Fusion Destiny.
Summon Bish Balkan. And at this point, I'm like, oh no. Nothing good ever happens when Bish Balkan hits the field. Surely I can out whatever dumbass board this dude makes.
You're enjoying the live stream, do your civic duty, and hit the fucking follow button. It is that easy, and it's completely free. I won't take any of your money unless you ask nicely.
The Earth Insect is a blight upon
Maxi needs any introduction, and I don't think
It
he
is
needs
the
an
Maxi
introduction to the
minigame.
subject
If you
of
look at Master Duel for, well, exactly one turn.
But seriously, how is this fair? Is this inside the mind of a Thunder Dragon player or a Sky Striker player? I had 2 cards looped out of my hand, and I'm staring down 2 negates, a mistake, and a boy that can't be targeted. This isn't okay. This is like 12 minutes of game time, by the way. I didn't do anything. I haven't played a card. It's been like 12 minutes. Every single person who is a Thunder Dragon player watching this video, I want you to go and fucking kill.
A lot of us have a tendency of just enjoying the process of complaining and whining about stuff. We've been doing that for the better part of 20 years, and then we have Snake Eye, which doesn't do anything overtly wrong, but we all know and accept the fact that it is a really good deck, and because that's the case, there's nothing to really like be like, oh man, this deck is so good, or oh man, this deck is so unfair. We can't really say that. Instead, we just accept that Snake Eyes is just good. There are people out there who will rather who would rather push the idea of banning floodgates or banning unfair cards, but those floodgates and unfair cards don't do anything in the current competitive format. They don't. Like, people are complaining about cards that are not even winning tournaments. The reason why we do that is because there's nothing to complain about when it comes to top decks. There's nothing to complain about because they're just good. They're fair decks that are really good. Snake Eyes is a fair, high-level good deck. And because it's a fair, high-level good deck, it's boring. And because it's boring, there's nothing for us to be engaged about. Kashtira was an unfair deck. Guess what? We can talk about that being a bad thing for the game forever. Alright? Do we actually think it's bad for the game? No, we just love to complain about it. Tearlaments. Tearlaments was great in the sense that it created a division among players, and it led to people being excited about Tearlaments if they did like it, or it led to people being angry about Tearlaments if they hated it. It created sides where people can actually feel something about those decks. Even Mystic Mine. One of the best parts of Mystic Mine is us constantly debating whether or not Mystic Mine is a fair card. For Snake Eyes, what do we have to really complain? What is there to complain about? Even the top players have nothing really to complain specific-wise when it comes to the deck of Snake Eyes. We got nothing to really go about it. Nothing. Because it's just a good, fair deck. And because it's just a good, fair deck, it's boring. We are Yu-Gi-Oh players. We do not like actual balance. We love complaining about balance, but we actually want the game to be unbalanced, alright? We say we don't like broken cards, but truth be told, we actually like broken cards. We say stuff like floodgates are terrible for the game, but yet we love complaining about floodgates. We complain about the fact that 15-minute turns are absolutely gosh darn terrible, but yet there are people out there who enjoy those 15-minute turns, who also enjoy complaining at the same time about those 15-minute turns. We're a very hyperbolic gatekeeping community that likes to pretend to be smarter than we actually are. We would rather complain about Tenpai than Snake Eyes, despite the fact Snake Eyes is better than Tenpai and will win more games and will win more tournaments than Tenpai. But the reason why we love complaining about Tenpai is because it's more overtly unfair. We love complaining in the Yugioh community, and Snake Eyes is a terrible gosh darn deck to let us actually have emotions, or feel bad, or to feel good about something. Stop giving us stuff that's not overtly unfair or broken. Stop giving us just good, instead of giving us good decks, give us controversial decks. Give us controversial cards. That is what we want. Is it messed up? Is it petty? Is it fickle? You darn right. But it's the gosh darn truth, and y'all can't say I'm wrong.